Hey guys, this is Rhys up with the Vanguard Team at Manor Realty. Yes, we were just joking around with our teammate Sadi Morrill. Sadi, thank you for joining us.
Hi, it's Sadi Greco now.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Somebody got married. Actually, I will tie this in. Sadi married one of the more prominent local guys in the construction industry.
Mhm.
So Sadi does a ton. Most years, more than anybody else in Windsor, sells more condos in high rises, right? And then she's doing an increasing amount now of pre-construction sales, and we're going to get into that as well. But this is a market update. So this is a market update for Windsor and Essex County and how numbers have changed over previous months and what trends we're seeing, Sadie, which, the average Joe, no disrespect, you're not going to get from the numbers the same way we do. So we are the Vanguard team at Manor Realty. You can always pause this if you want our contact information. This is our YouTube channel. Please subscribe. We're going up by like 10% subscriptions a month right now, which is fantastic. And we're getting over 850 views a day on our video now. So thanks a lot, guys. It feels great when the hard work is rewarded. And so I know we're helping you guys, and it makes us feel like we're not wasting our time too. We appreciate it. Okay, so Sadie, market update, October 2024. Look at the jump in the number of listings.
Yep.
That's huge, man. That's 25%.
Yeah.
Jump.
Mm-hmm.
So, why? Why did everybody list in October? I got a theory.
Okay.
But I want to hear what yours is first. You've been in this business over what, 15 years now?
A little bit less than that, but yeah, double digits.
I'm a real estate agent. Let me exaggerate. 14 years.
Yeah.
You're close.
Yeah.
All right. So in your 14 years experience, do you think it's just a surprise, or what do you think?
I don't think it's so much a surprise. Each year it's pretty consistent coming to the end of the year. Actually, contrary to belief, it is still busy on the half end of the year. Again, with the rate drops, that also helps as well to get those higher prices. So I think vendors are maybe pushing to list now than waiting until next year, not knowing kind of what's going to happen next year. So that could be a reason as well.
You've nailed two. You've nailed two of the three that I've got. So this is great. Yeah.
But yeah, more or less, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But it's pretty consistent when you do business all year round. But it's good to see good inventory.
Here's what I think is the third part, and you're right. So I think you're right that the seasonal is not like it used to be. Mm-hmm. People are listing aggressively. Right now, the kids are back in school. They're not on holiday in the middle of August anymore. So now people are getting serious about their houses. Mm-hmm. What I think is happening as well, Sadie, you just said it, like with the interest rate drops, I'm thinking people are looking at the market and saying, baby, we can afford a much bigger house now. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So let's sell our house and let's get that bigger. And we're seeing that with our own clients.
Yep.
Right? They're all starting to list their houses again because they want to get into bigger houses.
Yep.
Because they can afford the bigger house again.
Yep.
Right? They've been putting it on hold while the interest rates went up over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
So, guys, we always say this. When you see a spike in the number of listings, if you act quickly as a buyer or as an investor, if you act quickly, you catch it before the herd jumps on it. Yeah. Right. So there's a greater opportunity to buy these things in that short term. And you can see right now, look at the next level down, right, Sadie? Median sales price hasn't really changed. Nope. Months of inventory haven't really changed. You've got all these properties surging onto the market now. Now they're just listings. 90 days from now, they're all sales, right? So that to me is really exciting for the industry as things loosen up again, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's better for buyers too. Like you said, with the interest rates dropping, there's more inventory. So there's more options out there for them. So they're not competing so much against other buyers. So it's always a benefit to look in the fall, winter time. I've always purchased on this year, this side of the year anyway. So I kind of am familiar with the benefits of it.
Yeah. And, you can see here year over year. So last year's the dark purple, this year's the yellow, right? And so what you see now is a notable jump in the number of sales. So if you look at the yellow line across since March, it's a flat line. Mm-hmm. There's no seasonal curve to this. right? And
Yeah.
we're used to
Yeah.
seeing it kind of do it what it kind of did in the purple, which is it went up and it goes down, right? The warm months it goes
Mhm.
up, the cool months it goes down, which is the seasonal
Yeah.
aspect at the top. But no, it's remaining flat, and the reason I think it's remaining flat, Sadie, and well, you tell me, why do you think it's going flat? Why do you think we still have like
Um,
451 sales? Why didn't we go down to 380?
well, there's more inventory,
Yep.
right?
Yep. So there's
So
more
there's
ability,
more.
more fluidity in the market, more options, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Um, to be honest, that's all I kind of really.
Well, and the only other one would be the market rate drops. So
Yeah.
you've
So
got,
the interest rates and the inventory always
yeah.
affect it, of
So
course.
you've got more houses for sale. So you've got more options to buy, but now you've got more buyers because the interest
Yeah.
rates are down. They can afford
Yeah.
your
They're.
properties. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think you're going to see a greater sustainability in the market. And if it sustains here like we think it is during the winter, it comes back to our theory on the spring, where if you wait till the spring, shame on you. If you watch this video and you still wait for the spring when you could have bought in the winter, shame on you.
Yeah.
Because you just screwed yourself. Because, man, it is going to go nuts. And we're
Yeah.
not the only people concluding that. Like, there are a lot of people in the industry, including our board president, Maggie Chen. She said it the other day. Rob Agnew, our broker of record at our office, same thing. Everybody believes that by the spring, with all these interest rate drops and just all the demand we've said on previous videos, 31,000 people moved here last year, over 40,000 moving here this year. Where the hell? Those are your buyers, guys,
Yeah.
right? Average price, I'm not going to dwell on this too much. It's up year over year, 9.33%. The Canadian historical average is 5%. So property value growth is outperforming the historical average, but you can see it kind of flatlined, right? In January, it jumped up a lot and then it kind of flatlined. So it's not, you know, it's not completely indicative. Let's just put it that way. Market activity, again, you can see just because of the sheer increase in activity on number of listings, you've got about 10% more action on the market than you did last year. And again, I think that bodes really, really well for the future of sales. And Sadie knows this, but this is my favorite curve. Same thing though, guys. I don't know why our board does this, but they're doubling up the ratios here. So instead of like a $60,000 increment, which, these numbers are all going up by 60,000, all of a sudden these are 120,000. I don't know why the board does that. So chop these in half, guys. Right? This is 60 60 and 55 55. And if you do that, you can see you get a nice bell curve, right? Which is a natural, healthy, balanced market. Where we're really seeing movement is up here between 700,000 up to the luxury homes in the 1.2, 1.4, 2 million range, because the interest rates came down. So you're seeing a lot of people that were buying here, they're able to afford this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
These were dead as a doornail 6 months ago. They weren't selling at all.
Yeah.
We had a really nice one at like 750, couldn't sell it. 799.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't sell it. It was a beautiful home for the price. And then interest rates kept dropping and it ended up selling.
Mm-hmm.
Any comments on this, Sadie, before we move on? Oh, yes. I do want to ask you something on this. So
Okay.
Sadie sells more used condos than pretty much anybody in Windsor. Probably 8 of the last 10 years, she's been number one. So Sadie, my question for you here, because we've barely got any properties under 300 grand that are selling.
Yeah.
Mostly because there's not a lot out there under 300 grand. So if I'm a young gun, if I'm a first time investor and I can only afford, I got a approval up to 250 grand.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'm a first time home buyer. I don't want roommates. I'm 26 years old. And again, my job is only allowing me up to 250,000. What do you do? What do you do?
Well, you buy a condo.
Okay.
Right? It's a very low risk investment for yourself and for your future. But the price ranges usually tend to range between the 250, 260, sometimes can get as low as 200 depending on the area and what the building offers. But if you are a first time buyer, which I think they're going to be coming back into the market because of those rate drops, those condos are sitting right now all under 300,000. Most of them 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, even some townhouses. It does give you more options now that the rates have dropped,
Yeah.
but there aren't moving that much right now because, again, a lot of people think it's the end of the year. I don't want to buy. I don't want to move, during the cold months.
Sure.
But I don't know if anybody's paying attention to the weather, but it's been pretty nice lately. It doesn't really get too bad until the new year, January, February. But I did want to mention that I think a lot of buyers get confused with buying one time in the market, October, November, December. It doesn't mean you have to move in October, November, December. You can always have a closing date in 90 days.
There you go.
Meaning going
Right? You can
into
push
this.
those closing dates. Okay, I got a couple quick questions for you before we end the market update that are related to the market update, but with condos.
Okay.
So I lived in a condo for a long time, as you know. I lived in downtown Windsor for many years in a condo, and I bought another one as well off of a client, and I ended up renting out both of them, and I was cash flowing.
Mhm.
I was also in a building that I consider a healthy building that was run properly, had really good reserve funds for repairs, and the
Yep.
condo fees weren't killer. They were kind of fair to the fact that they included a whole lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
So my question to you is, does that environment still exist? Can you still sell a condo in one of the healthier buildings? And guys, this is part of Sadie's expertise. She'll steer you away from the bad buildings that have
Mhm.
problems. She'll keep you in
Mhm.
the good buildings that are run properly. And there is a difference. There's a huge difference. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
So I lived in one of the healthy buildings, right? Can you still buy in one of those buildings like the one I was in, Victoria Park Place? Can you still buy in those buildings, rent out the unit to the top possible tenants? Because that's who goes into condos, guys.
Mhm.
Can you still do that? Can you, and cash flow a couple $100 a month and cover all your bills?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
I think you can definitely that's still something that is happening in the market with Victoria Park Place, a few other buildings that still have very affordable taxes and condo fees and for what they offer you and where they are in the city.
Right.
Being downtown, you're so close to the university, the college campuses, the tunnel, the hospitals, everything. So you have so many different demographics there to buy and rent out. So it can easily be a low risk, slightly lower return than the average investor might know of, but it's still covering all your costs. You're still paying down your mortgage and building equity within that unit. So it's definitely doable. Definitely 100%. You can still have that with that building and others.
And yeah, I was going to say there's multiple examples.
Yep.
I just happened to live in one of them for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Sadie, thank you for joining us today, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the market update for Windsor, Essex, brought to you by the Vanguard team at Manor Realty. As always, guys, subscribe. There's also links below to our Facebook investment group, and reach out to us from our contact information below if you want to join certain mass email lists that we have. We don't barrage you and flood you with spam. We just give you listings before they hit the MLS, and we give you our exclusive listings in pocket listings that will never hit the MLS. They're only sold to our investor clients over and over again. All right. So, Sadie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
All right. Till next time, guys.